6:01, call the August 9th regular council meeting to order. Ask clerk to take roll.
Walters.
Here.
Horak.
Here.
Vogel. Here. Anderson.
Here.
Sarchet.
Present. First item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. I have no additions or corrections. I take a motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Anderson.
Yes.
Sarchet.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Dvorak.
Yes.
Vogel. Yes.
Motion carries. Next item is public comments. This is time and place for comments for any item other than those in the public hearing. If you wish to speak, please either come to the podium or let us know on the phone. Anybody? Nope. Perfect. Moving on. Consent agenda. Take a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? Roll call, please.
Vogel. Yes. Anderson.
Yes.
Sarchet.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Dvorak.
Motion carries. Next item under business item A, authorized purchase of a street sweeper not to exceed $130,759. Mike, that's a big number, but I'm going to throw the floor to you.
I would just take a motion and it was going so quick there.
You were standing up. You were standing up before I had an
You
opportunity.
wanted to talk. Don't
No, I
pretend
really
like
don't. Go ahead, Rob.
We were leaving time for you.
Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to get hammered to see it. Randy and I have been tossing this around to buy a street sweep for quite some time, but we couldn't ever get it into the budget. But we come up with some financing here and some good luck lately, in my opinion. I guess the ratio's not good luck, but we did come up with some of those funds to be able to fund this, as you can see in my memo. But we wanted to do a better job, to be quite honest. We budget for 3 street sweepings a year. We can do way more than that to make the town look better, in my opinion. We can use it anytime we want at that time, primarily in the fall, probably, right? When the leaves are falling, that type of thing. You can do it monthly, weekly, whatever. We would have the staff be able to do that now. So anyway, as you go down there, we have available to us $130,759. I was going to throw some change in there, but I didn't do that. So anyway, that's what we would like to do, and I would appreciate your feedback and approval. Any questions?
A few. Well, it sounds good. So you three. What are the costs of the rentals that we do?
We don't rent. We have a contractor that comes in, and most of it, lately it's been about 8,000,
Okay.
depending.
So we're spending about 25 a year.
Yeah.
How long
Yeah,
is this piece of machinery would last us?
Of course, it would be a used machine, but there's no reason that type of money there wouldn't have at least a 10-year lifespan. And then we start looking, but I would try to put 12 to 13 on it in the capital improvement,
Okay.
or capital equipment fund.
So there is a horizon where this pays for itself.
In my opinion, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now I know you're led with the increased flexibility, and I think with some of the things that I've heard living in a newer development with meals, whatever else, there's a value add component to that. I didn't want to talk through that. So that answers that part. The second part, I'm guessing this is true, but doesn't have to be used on curb and gutter roads. The asphalt roads that we have, we can use it there, same as anything else.
Parking lots, asphalt, yep, curb and gutter. Yep. And I would plan on the first year staying right at that $20,000 year budget, maybe a little bit of an increase, maybe 25, but I would stay right in that ballpark for the maintenance on the machine itself. The labor's there, we're paying for that, so I didn't figure that in, but I would stay with that same number for the budget in the foreseeable future after we purchase the equipment.
And these are your guys driving this thing. There's nothing they know how to do that already.
Yeah, we have some pretty good equipment operators out there right now, so that wouldn't be a problem. Just be a little bit of a learning curve.
Haven't we owned street sweepers in the past?
We have not. We have one for the Bobcat, but that doesn't do the job that this one would do.
I think we did.
We did. Years ago.
We did. Or we owned 2 of them.
Yeah, I remember.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that was before my time. I did not
Different
think
times. Yep.
I remember.
Horse drawn.
Don't get into a back in the day
I'm telling you
conversation
right
with
now,
these two
yeah.
up here.
No, I remember it.
Before Mike, that's a long time. Before Ron,
I remember it, Ron.
before my time, they didn't even have brooms.
I think
Yeah,
anything that can pay
we
for
owned it
itself.
before and started with a used one and a lot of problems. Breakdowns, honestly, you didn't see any benefit on the streets. And I'm not saying that's what will happen this time, but I'm just saying that's what happened last time.
I think it's all about the, it's you're saying you're gonna do it. I have no doubt that you will. And if we can utilize it more, because there's times there's at least once or twice a year that could be used, especially even in the spring, with all the sand and whatnot on the roads, that you may get it one time, then you have another, week later, you have another event and there's more there. So if anything that has a payback that we can own as a asset that we don't have to, I don't see any, if you find it as a cost positive opportunity to all for it, I would think you've done your homework and you know that it's the best thing for us.
Yeah.
Personally.
We just really want to do more with it. We can do more in a year. And I think it would make us look a lot better.
So being able to do more is important. I still don't want to make sure that we're covering for, just because we can do something doesn't mean we should when there's developers or whoever throwing mud, whatever else in the road, to the extent that we can hold them accountable and charge them for that. That was a sigh there. Is there something to that, or?
There could be something to that, yeah. And I haven't talked to Chelsea about this yet, but over the years, I've had contractors ask, do you have a street sweeper? I would be willing to pay when those problems arise. So, there are some opportunities there.
Would that take any ordinance code changes to be able to, I don't know, like,
No, you have to just set a policy. The council would.
Now you got my attention.
Any other questions?
No, I just appreciate your approach to this, to not have, it's something you've had in the back of your mind for a while, waited for the right opportunity to pay for it without negative impacts to the community, and seeing a way to enhance what we provide. So I appreciate the approach to this and the work you did to bring us to this position.
Where is this money coming from?
It'll come out of we have $20,000 in the regular budget this year that we're going to use from. I was lucky enough to be able to purchase some equipment last year that was in this budget, so we're going to use that money, which is $12,000 and some change there. And then the biggest portion will be out of my capital improvements fund that was reimbursed from derecho money for equipment that was used, and we got paid from FEMA on that, and some labor that we had on that too. So that's where the biggest part of that money's from.
Thank you.
Yep.
would you be here without the FEMA money?
In the next few years, we would have been, because we were really trying to get to this point. But so to answer your question, probably not. It would be a lot
Yeah,
less machine, to be honest.
take advantage of the timing.
Yeah.
Makes
Can we get a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Roll call.
Vogel,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Sarchet,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Black.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And I will say that is the limit, and we're going to try our best to get the machine that we need for even less if we can. We'll try.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I won't be running over any walnuts in the bike lane.
I'm not gonna promise anything, Ron.
You already got it.
Trouble doing that.
You already got it approved. You don't have to
Yeah,
promise
okay.
anything.
Ron will be calling you out there every day,
What was
good
that
night, let's
question
keep
5
nothing.
minutes ago?
Yeah. You got it approved. Next item, first reading of ordinance 2021-1900, amending chapter 69 parking regulations. Memo wasn't, or the information wasn't in your packets. Anybody have any questions on it? Not? I take a motion.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
DeVore,
Yes.
Vogel,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Sarchet,
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, Snyder and Associates Incorporated Engineering invoices for the May 2021 services in the amount of $60,590.20. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Whack.
Yes.
Vogel.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Sarchet.
Yes.
Walters.
Abstain.
Motion carries. Gotcha.
That's all right.
Next item, reports and particulars. First item on here is to recognize Officer Matt Untrower. I have a note up here. It was also in your packet. It was a form that was filled out by a resident from Ankeny, and I was asked to say, well, first off, she didn't know the officer's name, but I was asked to go ahead and read that. It says that our family owes a big thank you to the officer who stopped near Big Creek Lake to help my dad, Don Saunders. I said that wrong, or right, I apologize if I didn't. On Wednesday, July 28th, my dad had gone alone to the lake to swim, and his car broke down after he left the park. It was a very hot day, and my dad does not use a cell phone. He's 88 in good shape, but I wish he hadn't gone out that far alone in the heat. My dad said the officer who helped him was very kind and took him to a cooling station in Polk City, then called a tow truck for him. He got home safely not long thereafterwards. I am so grateful to your officer for his compassion and professionalism, especially in 96-degree heat. I plan to take the day off soon to take my dad to the beach. Thank you so much, Janet Klakinga, if I pronounced that name right. And Chief, do you have anything to add to Officer Untrower's good work on that day?
No, he did a great job, and it was nice having a cooling center set up for us, and made a good use of it.
Good work to him and all your guys for fighting through all this stuff. Do you have anything else to add since I'm already looking at you?
Nothing more for me.
Right. Anybody else?
I had, we just wrapped up a firefighter one course. We had 13 participants.
Nice.
And not all Polk City residents, but a couple, and had some interest from outside agencies that work for part-time, so that's good. We had an open house Sunday, as an FYI. Looks like we have 5 names that we may be bringing to you for approval, so that's good. And, you know, with that, that's always a lot of hard work. Our officers did an awesome job putting that together. Appreciate the help. So, that's for the
Thank you for making it worth it. Anybody else, staff-wise?
Hey, I want to give kudos to Public Works. As a one-person show, I rely on Mike's guys quite a bit, and recently they helped me do a pretty aggressive tree planting at Lost Lakes Park. I did the first one by hand, so when the machines showed up, it was a lot easier. So, no, I appreciate him and his
Is that a
crew
hazing thing, Mike?
helping me out. No, I just decided I was going to try it. I learned real quick. So, anyway, thank you, Mike, and your crew. All your help this summer.
Put a little plaque.
Wait a minute. Jamie, don't you have something to say?
So,
Quick Star?
huh?
Quick Star, have you
Oh.
announced?
Well, that's with Jason too. So yeah, Quick Star's making donations to us for, when they open their store. So, it's a nice donation. So,
Yes.
and we just finished up our summer reading program. Give you a little perspective, in 2019, pre-COVID, we had about 2,100 people at our programs in June and July. This year we had 3,900. So, yeah. I hope they like being outside, because I don't think they're coming back inside anytime in the near future, because we don't have that kind of people.
Great.
So,
Getting some good use out of that tent.
we got a lot of use out of our tent, yes.
It's great. See that tent out a lot.
Well, I think that donation's used, being they made that kind of, and it's not a paltry sum, and they aren't even open yet. I don't,
How much, it's news to me, so.
Parks and Rec is getting 1,000. The library is getting 1,000.
Great. Yeah, I don't know if that was public. No, I just had not heard that, so that's wonderful. You know, we oftentimes ask, businesses usually step up really nicely, and to do it beforehand is even, it's very impressive and commendable. So we thank them publicly. Thank you guys for taking it.
For the good use,
Maybe
we
you
know
ask
you'll make
more,
of
maybe you
it.
do.
There.
No, Dave, I can explain. They were doing their job fairs, and one day when they were done, two ladies came over and said, "We'd like to talk to somebody about kids. We'd like to give you money." So I ran from my office as fast as possible and talked to them, and, you know, I mentioned the library, and we decided it would be fair to go halvesies on it, but,
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's a true story.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
awesome.
They approached us. They approached us.
Well, I wasn't
so-
sure, kind of.
Is that a true story?
How does that happen? No, that's great. Thank you. That's good stuff. And I would also, before Rob takes my time, I would like to, also the police department, my son was coming home from, Big Creek, day last week, and there was a vehicle that was very close to his bumper and speeding up and kind of going off the road, and, he called in 911, and, then we went by later and the vehicle was pulled over. I mean, the police got him like very quickly, and it was, I think, drugs and suspension, and, you know, there's a lot of different, so I was impressed that within this 2-mile radius of calling and how quickly the response was to get this person off the road, because they were a hazard big time from what my boy said. They were just really going everywhere. Somebody that didn't have a license anyway, you know, so just want to thank you for that as well. I mean, everybody does a great job. It's just one thing that stood out.
Thanks. Pass along.
Yeah, of course. That's all I need to say, so.
Apparently, everybody's looking down your way.
We always have a few things.
Yeah, something to say.
Make something. No, I did have something, but I'm offended that
Now he's gonna cut it short.
assumption. Good job, Chief. I think Des Moines right now is having a big confab on their fire department staffing. So we talked about this before. It's changing, right? And so your willingness to do new things, to go the old bag of tricks is appreciated. And I also, in more of a macro level, I'll maybe use Chelsea and Jason as an example of the work session today, but I just so appreciative of the staff and the focus, even when it's changing my assumptions coming into a meeting like the work session did today, but new ways of thinking, approaches, not focusing on, we got to do this to get to that, to get to that, to get to the final goal, but what is the path to get to where we want to be? And I think that is a small town government when it can work well, and there's been a lot of cases when it doesn't work well, and that's small government. And so I'm just really thankful of the time today, and again, it was Chelsea and Jason in particular at the work session, but it's pretty much every time when it's somebody else, and that means a lot to me. So I do appreciate the work that you guys do, even when my perspective is a little half-cocked or whatever, but just want to thank you guys for that. Upward and on, so appreciate it.
Else? Chelsea, do you have anything?
I do not.
Awesome. Ron, do you have anything?
Nobody was glaring at her. You talked as much as I did.
No, I think I'm gonna say publicly what I said last time. I feel that Polk City's in as good a place as it's ever been before. I don't know, if we can make this park happen within the next 2 years, I will be very happy, but it's gonna be an uphill climb. Sounds to me like, but I think we have good leadership that can get us there.
Great. Do you have a motion to make?
Yeah, I'll make that motion to adjourn.
One second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.